guys, just wanted to give a quick update. Today is Friday, January 18th. I had 3 videos I was editing, getting ready to put up for you, and then when I went to do that editing, found out there was no audio on it. So now Mark's got the camera fixed for me and I'm good to go again. So I'm going to do a quick overview of what was in those 3 videos all in one and get it out there so you guys can see what's going on with me. Nothing to be worried about, all just general information at this point. So on Thursday, January 10th, I went for all of my pre-op appointments. So my first appointment was with the surgeon. We went over, just had a general exam, went over the risks that come with this surgery. Also signed off on all of the forms as far as being informed of those risks. Also had to make some choices, like if he gets in there and I am not, for whatever reason, unable to do a gastric bypass, that he would do a sleeve procedure instead. So I had a few decisions like that I just had to sign off on so he would know how to proceed if anything were to happen during my surgery. So pretty basic. Got my chewable vitamins from him so that I'd be set for after surgery. I will have to take a multivitamin made for bariatric patients for the rest of my life just to make sure I don't become malnourished or missing any minerals. So not a big deal. I'm used to taking pills. It will be a little bit more frequent to start with, because with the chewable pills, you have to take them 4 times a day. So once I'm past that, that's only for the first month. I can continue chewable after that, but I don't have to. I should be able to swallow a regular pill by then. So the other thing that comes with that, which I am not looking forward to, is all of my medications have to be crushed that first month. I can't swallow a pill at all. So I know in general pills, when you have to crush them and take them any other way, are not tasty. So it's just something I'm going to have to get through for that first month, and then I should be good. I do have an email into my regular doctor, my primary care, because one of my medications is an extended release, which you cannot crush. So when he said when I was about a week out from surgery to contact his office, and they would get me on the non-extended release version for that month, and I should be good. So once I was done with that appointment, I headed over to Castle Medical over in Kailua, and that is where I met with the nurse for the surgeon, the dietitian, as well as the personal trainer. So it was like a group class. There were 3 of us that are having either sleeve or bypass or duodenal switch. So just what we can and can't do, what to expect when we go to the hospital, proper cleansing, I guess you'd call it, proper cleansing before surgery. There's actually a procedure you have to follow, shower the night before and then wipe down with special cloths. And they did say that it will leave like a sticky film on the skin, which might be a little uncomfortable. And then the morning of surgery, I'm not allowed to shower again. I just use these cloths again, put my clean clothes on, and head to the hospital. So I've never had it done that way before, but apparently it's quite common, because my insurance company actually phoned to make sure I had been informed of all the risks and all of these things. And that was one thing that they wanted to make sure I had been instructed on, is how to do that properly. So what else did we go over? That was with the nurse, went over those type of things. The dietitian went over just what our options were for clear liquids versus full liquids versus our pre-op diet. So a lot of people will call the pre-op diet a liquid diet. However, in this case, it's a liver shrinking diet is really what they are doing. So it's mostly water and liquids. However, I am allowed 1 meal of lean protein the size of my palm, and up to 3 handfuls of non-starchy vegetables once a day. It says once to twice a day in my passport. However, 1 is what they're instructing me to do. So that is what I am going to stick with. So I had read up a lot on what's allowed during that. It's kind of what I've been following as far as the meal sizes and stuff when I've been watching what I've been doing. So nothing there was a surprise. Then after her was the personal trainer. Personal trainer just went over not overdoing it right after surgery, what exercises are allowed, what we shouldn't plan on doing. Obviously no lifting. I can't lift the kids, can't lift anything over. They will give me a specific when I'm discharged, but they said it's usually 25 pounds for the first month. And then walking is usually the only exercise for the first month, other than like some yoga type stretching that is allowed. And then after that, doctor will sign off on things depending on how I personally progress. So there wasn't really anything I wasn't expecting. You know, I knew there would be some restrictions. I have to have, of course, somebody pick me up from the hospital. Just, you know, all the basics you do when you've been under anesthesia and or pain medications. So nothing too interesting there. Then after that, that was it for the day. Oh, I did have to stay and have a couple of tests that needed to be done within a certain amount of time of surgery. So I did stay and I had an EKG and a chest x-ray, and I've not heard anything from the surgeon that didn't turn out the way they were expecting. So that's all clear. On Friday, January 11th, I had to do fasting labs at the local lab here in Kaneohe. It wasn't anything like the first one where they were checking for vitamins and it was like a ton of blood. Like I think it was, I want to say 14 or 15 vials, that one. This one was like 3 or 4, kind of more normal. They were just checking liver function, cholesterol, the basics. Also had to do a urine sample and just to make sure for bladder infections. Not that it would stop the surgery. You would just have to have antibiotics before surgery. So I did get a phone call back. It was on Monday the 14th, so this last Monday, stating that my urine culture did come back as contaminated, and so I did have to go back in on the 15th to redo that. It has come back clear, so no antibiotics before surgery. I should be all in the clear at this point. So really at this point, it is starting my pre-op diet on the 21st, which might be a little tricky because Carly is off school that day. So it makes it a little bit hard for us to, like, we can't just go stop at the ice cream shop after the beach like we normally do. So, or normally would have done. So it's going to be kind of my first step at like changing how we're doing things, and hopefully the kids and everybody will get on board with that fairly quickly. I'll just, I think, and just take a protein drink with me and keep it in a cooler, nice, extra cold. And that's what I will do while they're having a treat. So the other thing I'm going to put in this video is I made a quick haul at Sam's Club to make sure I had enough protein drinks and liquids for this pre-op diet, and hopefully enough to carry on to after surgery as well. This is my haul from Sam's Club. I'm going to give you pictures of what the product is and the nutritional values on them, and we'll go from there. So first off is Premier Protein. They're kind of a standard protein drink for most bariatric patients, from what I understand. Some people love them, some people love to hate them. They do not have as much protein as listed on here. There has recently been a lawsuit on this, but they are still very high in protein for the amount of carbs that are in them, so they're still a good one to use. So here is what this looks like. This happens to be a vanilla flavor. Right now, really all you can get is vanilla and chocolate. My understanding is that once they run out of stock, the other flavors will be coming out again with proper nutritional value listed on them, aka the right number of grams of protein. Next up, we have Protein 2O. This is a clear liquid protein drink. I have had these before, not in the same flavors, but they seem to be good. Here's the nutritional value on them. Okay, so next up is Propel. This is basically sugar-free Gatorade. Strangely enough, when they did my labs, my sodium level comes back quite low. I kind of learned to cook without salt because Dad always had heart problems, and so when Mom was cooking growing up, we didn't use a lot of salt. So I'm supposed to be having at least one of these a day until surgery, just to keep those levels around normal. Vitamin Water Zero, just to have something other than water, so you have some flavor. Premier Protein Clear. Again, this is something that I can have while I'm on liquid diet and still get some protein in, so that hopefully I don't feel too fatigued. Premier protein bars. I will have to say that I did not look at this one closely enough before purchasing it, because I feel like the carb level is way too high. But in a bind, it's better than not having protein. So I'll finish these off sometime during the process, I'm sure. And possibly the hubby might like them as well. So then the last thing I had was PB Fit. So this is supposedly a good way of having your peanut butter fix without as much sugar. I have used it in baking for years, but I've never really made actual peanut butter out of it. So I will be trying this. Also, ew, what no one wants to talk about. The big bottle of stool softener. Gonna have it on hand just in case. I would rather that than to be miserable later on. So here's what I've got for now. I've also got just stuff that I've been buying a little bit here and there at the store, like bone broths, things of that nature. So this is not all I'm expecting to live on here for the next little bit. These are just the things that I thought were worth buying in bulk. So let me know if you've been through this surgery. Comment below. Let me know if I am totally off base and should be doing something different, or if this looks about right. So again, nothing new to report other than what's in this video. I'm looking forward to starting my pre-op liver shrinking diet. Only have to do it for 1 week. I feel like that's very doable. And looking forward to a long weekend with the kids and husband, as it's Martin Luther King Day on Monday. And so we've got a little extra time together, which is always nice. So for the time being, I sign off for now.